The calendar turns to March 1, 2025. A day etched in the annals of rock and roll history is the day the music world dimmed a little. David Johansen, the electrifying, unpredictable force of nature who fronted the New York Dolls and later morphed into the playfully sophisticated Buster Poindexter, has taken his final bow at the age of 75. His voice, a rasping snarl that could also soar with surprising tenderness. His style, a flamboyant explosion of glam and grit. His very essence, a defiant rejection of convention, all combined to define a generation desperate for authenticity. After a long and courageous battle against a persistent respiratory illness, a fight he waged with the same tenacity and theatrical flair he brought to the stage, David Johansen has left this mortal coil. But he leaves behind a legacy that resonates far beyond the confines of record grooves and concert halls. A legacy of untamed creativity, boundless self-expression, and a fierce commitment to living life on his own terms. His family, in a heartfelt statement released this morning, shared his final, indelible words: "Keep the music wild, and the spirit free. That's how you truly live." A mantra that encapsulates the very essence of David Johansen. Born on January 9, 1950, in the working-class borough of Staten Island, David Johansen's early life was steeped in the raw energy of the city. From a young age, he felt the irresistible pull of music, a siren call that promised escape and self-discovery. He devoured the sounds of early rock and roll, blues, and the burgeoning counterculture movement. He saw in these sounds a reflection of his own restless spirit, a yearning for something more than the ordinary. By the time he reached his late teens, Johansen's raw talent and undeniable stage presence were already turning heads in the local music scene. He possessed a natural charisma, a magnetic energy that drew people to him. His voice, though still developing, already hinted at the unique instrument it would become, a voice that could snarl and seduce, lament and celebrate, all within the space of a single song. It was only a matter of time before he would find his true calling. The early 1970s, New York City was a cauldron of creativity and chaos. And from this ferment arose the New York Dolls. Johansen, along with guitarist Johnny Thunders, formed the nucleus of a band that would become a lightning rod for controversy and inspiration. The Dolls were a volatile mixture of hard rock, proto-punk, and unapologetic glam. Their music was raw, loud, and deliberately offensive. Their look was even more shocking: heavy makeup, towering platform boots, ripped fishnets, and a blatant disregard for traditional gender norms. They were a middle finger to the establishment, a gloriously decadent celebration of rebellion. Songs like Trash, Jet Boy, and Looking for a Kiss became anthems for a generation yearning to break free from the constraints of conformity. The Dolls' live shows were legendary, chaotic, and often descended into near riots. They were a band that lived on the edge, and their music reflected that precarious existence. Despite facing significant commercial challenges and battling internal tensions, the New York Dolls left an undeniable mark on music history. They paved the way for the punk rock explosion that would soon follow, influencing countless bands, from the Ramones and the Sex Pistols to The Clash and Blondie. Johansen's fearless approach to performance, his unwavering commitment to his artistic vision, cemented his status as an icon. The 1980s brought a surprising twist in the David Johansen saga. Shedding the raw aggression of the Dolls, he emerged as Buster Poindexter, a suave and sophisticated lounge singer with a sly wink and a playful smile. It was a complete reinvention, a bold move that shocked and delighted audiences in equal measure. Hot 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 became a global phenomenon, a party anthem that transcended genres and generations. Poindexter allowed Johansen to explore his deep love for jazz, calypso, swing, and other musical styles that had always captivated him. He captivated a new audience, proving that he was far more than just a one-dimensional rock and roll rebel. David is a true chameleon. He can inhabit any musical persona with complete conviction. Buster Poindexter was a stroke of genius, a way for him to explore his other passions and show the world his incredible versatility. Johansen's creative spirit knew no bounds. He embraced acting, bringing his unique charisma and comedic timing to the screen. His portrayal of the ghost of Christmas Past in the holiday classic Scrooged remains a fan favorite, a testament to his ability to inhabit larger-than-life characters with both humor and heart. He continued to act in numerous films and television shows, always bringing his own distinctive flair to every role. He was a natural performer, equally comfortable on stage and in front of the camera. In recent years, David Johansen faced his respiratory illness with unwavering courage and grace. He refused to let it define him, continuing to create, perform, and connect with his fans. He was reportedly working on new music, planning intimate performances, determined to keep his artistic fire burning bright. David faced his illness with incredible courage and grace. He never let it dim his spirit or his passion for music. Even in his final days, his love for performing and connecting with his news of David Johansen's passing sent shockwaves through the music world and beyond. Tributes poured in from fellow artists, critics, and fans, all expressing their grief and celebrating his extraordinary life. On-screen quotes. Iggy Pop, David was one of the bravest and most brilliant performers I've ever known. A true original. Debbie Harry, the world feels a little less bright without him. He was a true friend and a creative inspiration. Morrissey, David Johansen was the voice of rebellion and beauty combined. He will be deeply missed. Fans shared stories of his generosity, his humor, his unwavering authenticity. He was remembered not just as a rock icon, but as a genuinely kind, compassionate, and inspiring human being. David Johansen leaves behind a legacy that will continue to inspire generations of artists and music lovers. He was a true original, a rebel yell that echoed through time. He taught us to embrace our individuality, to defy convention, and to always keep the music wild and the spirit free. A public memorial is planned in New York City, where fans and friends will gather to celebrate his extraordinary life. In lieu of flowers, the family requests donations to music education programs, a fitting tribute to a man who believed so deeply in the transformative power of music. Rest in peace, David Johansen. Your music will keep us dancing, your spirit, forever untamed, will forever echo through the halls of rock and roll history. The rebel yell, though silenced in this world, will reverberate for eternity. David Johansen's passing marks the end of an era, but his influence remains immortal. His fearless artistry, unapologetic self-expression, and ability to evolve while staying true to his rebellious spirit cemented his place as one of rock and roll's most compelling figures. From the raw, untamed energy of the New York Dolls to the suave sophistication of Buster Poindexter, Johansen proved that music, and life, should never be confined to a single definition. His journey was one of reinvention and resilience. He defied expectations at every turn, inspiring generations of musicians and fans to embrace their own individuality. His music was more than sound, it was an attitude, a way of life, a call to break free from the ordinary. Whether snarling through punk anthems or crooning playful jazz standards, Johansen was a performer who demanded attention and left an indelible mark on everyone who experienced his work.